Chosen one. Out of 8.2 billion people, no one on this earth carries your exact spiritual fingerprint. No one has your exact mixture of wounds, intuition, silence, timing, sensitivity, and hidden strength. And that is why your life has never felt ordinary, even when you tried to make it look ordinary. You have walked into rooms and felt what people were hiding. You have heard someone speak kindly, but something inside you knew their spirit was not clean toward you. You have sensed endings before they happened. You have felt the weight of a conversation before a single honest word was spoken. You have carried burdens you could not explain, and you have felt lonely in places where everyone else seemed comfortable. But listen carefully. The thing that made you feel different is not proof that you are broken. It may be proof that you are tuned to something deeper. What people called too sensitive may have been discernment. What people called too quiet may have been protection. What people called too intense may have been assignment. What people called strange may have been the early sign of a gift they did not have the language to understand. And this is why this message matters. Because the rarest thing about you is not simply that you are gifted. Many people are gifted. Many people are talented. Many people are intelligent. But what you carry is not one isolated trait. It is the exact combination of what you have survived, what you can sense, what you refuse to become, what you still believe in, and what keeps calling you forward, even after life gave you every reason to shut down. That combination cannot be copied. Someone can copy your words. Someone can imitate your style. Someone can study your habits. Someone can even try to walk into the rooms you once dreamed of entering, but they cannot carry your history. They cannot carry your private battles. They cannot carry the nights when you had to encourage yourself with no audience, no applause, no witness, and no guarantee that anything would change. They cannot carry the moment you almost gave up, but something in you whispered, "Not yet." They cannot carry the pain that sharpened you. They cannot carry the silence that formed you. They cannot carry the signal that was placed inside you before the world ever had a chance to name you. And before this message is over, I want you to understand three things clearly. You are going to understand why you never truly felt ordinary. You are going to recognize the signs that prove your sensitivity is not random. And you are going to see why your life had to go through hidden seasons before the rare thing inside you could be trusted in the open. Stay with this until the end, not because this is entertainment, but because there is a part of your life that may finally make sense. The loneliness, the strange timing, the repeated endings, the feeling that you were born for something but could never fully explain it. By the end of this message, you will not just feel encouraged. You will have language for what you carry. The first sign that you carry a rare signal is that you sense shifts before they happen. You do not always know how to explain it. Sometimes there is no proof, no message, no confession, no clear reason, but something in your spirit becomes alert. You can feel when a person's heart has changed toward you before their behavior fully shows it. You can feel when a season is closing before the door actually shuts. You can feel when a place that once felt comfortable has started to feel too small for who you are becoming. And because you could not prove what you felt, you learned to doubt yourself. You told yourself, maybe I am just overthinking. Maybe I am too emotional. Maybe I am reading too much into this. Maybe I should ignore what I sense and just be normal. But then time passed, and the truth came out. The person you felt pulling away really was pulling away. The room you felt unsafe in really was not aligned with you. The opportunity that looked good on the outside really was not right for your spirit. The friendship that felt heavy really was draining you. The warning you tried to silence was not trying to punish you. It was trying to protect you. Chosen one, that is not paranoia. When it is clear, calm, and consistent, that is discernment. The second sign is that environments affect you more deeply than they affect other people. Some people can sit in gossip and feel nothing. You cannot. Some people can spend hours around fake smiles, hidden jealousy, loud pride, and shallow conversation, then go home untouched. You cannot. You may leave certain places feeling exhausted, not because you did anything physically difficult, but because your spirit was processing what your mouth never said. You can feel when a room is heavy. You can feel when someone is performing instead of being honest. You can feel when peace is missing, even if everything looks beautiful on the outside. And for a long time, this made you wonder if you were weak. But what if you were not weak? What if you were simply sensitive to what other people have trained themselves to ignore? There is a kind of sensitivity that comes from wounds, and that sensitivity needs healing. But there is also a kind of sensitivity that comes from calling. It does not make you fragile. It makes you aware. It makes you careful. It makes you notice what the crowd misses. The third sign is that old versions of you keep falling away, even when you try to hold on to them. You have tried to go back to who you used to be. You have tried to enjoy the same conversations, the same distractions, the same relationships, the same places, the same patterns. But something inside you keeps pulling away. Not always loudly, not always dramatically. Sometimes it is just a quiet loss of interest. What once entertained you now drains you. What once impressed you now feels empty. What once made you feel included now makes you feel like you are betraying your own growth. This is one of the hardest parts of carrying something rare. You do not always get to stay connected to what used to comfort you. Sometimes growth feels like grief. Sometimes elevation feels like separation. Sometimes becoming who you are called to be means disappointing the version of you that only wanted to be accepted. And that can hurt, because you did not ask to outgrow people. You did not ask to become uncomfortable in familiar places. You did not ask to feel like your spirit was moving ahead while your life was still trying to catch up. But the falling away is not always loss. Sometimes it is release. Sometimes what leaves your life is making room for what can recognize the real you. The fourth sign is that your dreams, thoughts, and inner warnings have become harder to ignore. There are dreams that disappear the moment you wake up, and then there are dreams that stay with you like a message. There are thoughts that pass through the mind, and then there are thoughts that land with weight. There are random feelings, and then there are inner warnings that return again and again, quietly, patiently, until you finally listen. You may have had moments where a name came to your mind before that person contacted you. Moments where you thought about something, and then life placed confirmation in front of you. Moments where a song, a phrase, a number, a memory, or a conversation arrived at exactly the right time. You tried to call it coincidence because coincidence feels safer, but deep down, you knew there was a pattern. Not a pattern that makes you superior. Not a pattern that gives you permission to become careless or prideful. A pattern that invites you to become more awake, more humble, more responsible with what you sense. Because rare sensitivity without humility becomes confusion. Rare discernment without love becomes judgment. Rare vision without patience becomes frustration. That is why what you carry had to be formed before it could be released. The fifth sign is the one most chosen ones are afraid to admit. You are not only afraid of failure. Part of you is afraid of being seen. You may pray for breakthrough, but when breakthrough comes close, something in you tightens. You may ask for doors to open, but when attention starts moving toward you, you feel exposed. You may want your gift to matter, but you also know that if people truly see what you carry, your life can no longer remain small. And this fear does not mean you are weak. It means you understand weight. There are people who chase visibility because they do not understand responsibility. They want the platform, but not the pressure. They want the crown, but not the character. They want the room, but not the refinement required to stand in it without losing themselves. But you are different. You have felt the cost of being misunderstood. You have felt how quickly people can praise what they do not understand, then attack what they cannot control. You have felt the danger of being visible before you are grounded. So something in you has been careful. That carefulness is not cowardice. It is wisdom waiting for alignment. This is why you have spent so many seasons hidden in plain sight. People saw your face, but they did not see your burden. They heard your voice, but they did not hear the battles you were fighting in silence. They watched you keep going, but they never understood how many times you almost gave up behind closed doors. And because they did not see the process, they may not recognize what is being formed in you now. But hidden does not mean forgotten. Quiet does not mean empty. Delayed does not mean denied. Sometimes the rarest things are not placed on display early. They are covered, protected, tempered, developed in silence until they are strong enough to survive visibility. Think of a seed. If you look at it while it is buried, it appears forgotten. No one applauds it underground. No one sees the pressure around it. No one celebrates the cracking open that has to happen before growth becomes visible. But the darkness is not the enemy of the seed. The darkness is part of the process that allows the seed to become what it was always carrying inside. And maybe that is what your hidden season has been. Not rejection, formation, not punishment, preparation, not evidence that nothing is happening. Evidence that something too deep to be rushed is taking root. You may have been asking, why did I have to be alone so long? Why did I have to lose people I loved? Why did I have to feel so different? Why did the easy path never seem to fit me? Why did I have to keep being tested in the places where I was already tired? And the answer is not simple, but it is sacred. Because what you carry could not be shaped by comfort alone. Comfort can soothe you, but it does not always strengthen you. Approval can make you feel safe, but it does not always make you true. Being surrounded can make you feel wanted, but it does not always teach you how to hear your own spirit. Your silence taught you to listen. Your rejection taught you to stop begging for rooms that were too small. Your delay taught you that timing is not the same as denial. Your disappointment taught you to stop worshipping appearances. Your loneliness taught you that being chosen does not always feel glamorous. Sometimes it feels like being separated from everything that used to define you, until the only thing left is the truth of who you are. And that truth is this: you were not made different, so you could spend your whole life apologizing for it. You were not given discernment, so you could keep calling it anxiety. You were not given depth, so you could keep pretending shallow things satisfy you. You were not given a rare signal, so you could bury it under noise, distraction, and the fear of being misunderstood. But here is where the message goes deeper. Because this rare signal inside you is not only emotional, it is not only spiritual. There may be something deeper happening in the way your mind, your intuition, and your inner awareness were designed to work together. There are states where you feel unusually clear, times when your thoughts connect quickly, times when your intuition feels sharp, times when life seems to speak in patterns, times when you are not forcing anything, but ideas, warnings, memories, and confirmations come together with a strange kind of precision. And then there are other times when the signal fades. Brain fog returns, doubt returns, exhaustion returns. The world becomes loud again. Your mind feels crowded. Your spirit feels buried. You know there is something in you, but you cannot seem to reach it. For years, you may have thought this was just your personality. You may have thought you were inconsistent, undisciplined, too tired, too distracted, or too damaged to carry what you were called to carry. But what if the gift was never gone? What if the signal was only covered? What if the rare thing inside you has been trying to rise again? Not through pressure, not through panic, not through forcing yourself to become someone else, but through a deeper return to the frequency you were created to carry. Do not rush past that, because in the next part of this message, we are going to uncover what this spiritual fingerprint really is. We are going to go beyond the signs and into the revelation. You will see why your pain became a decoder, why your sensitivity is not weakness, why your exact combination cannot be copied, and why the thing you thought made you hard to love may be the very thing that makes you impossible to replace. Chosen one, you are not ordinary, but that does not mean you are above anyone. It means you are responsible for something that cannot be carried casually. And once you understand what that something is, your whole life may start to make sense. And that something is not a title. It is not a personality type. It is not a fantasy you created to comfort yourself when people did not understand you. It is a spiritual fingerprint. And the reason your life has felt so hard to explain is because you have been trying to describe something that was never meant to fit into ordinary language. How do you explain that you can feel a shift before it happens? How do you explain that your spirit knows when a person is smiling with their mouth but hiding something in their heart? How do you explain that certain rooms feel heavy before anyone says anything wrong? How do you explain that you can be tired, not because your body has worked too much, but because your soul has been carrying information no one else seemed to notice? For a long time, you may have thought this made you complicated, but it did not make you complicated. It made you aware. And the first revelation you need to receive is this: your pain did not just hurt you, it decoded you. That does not mean the pain was good. That does not mean the betrayal was right. That does not mean the people who wounded you were secretly doing you a favor. Do not twist this into pretending that harm is holy. What happened to you mattered. What broke your trust mattered. What made you cry behind closed doors mattered. What made you question your worth mattered. But after the pain passed through your life, something in you changed. Before the betrayal, you may have believed every kind word. After the betrayal, you learned to listen beneath the word. Before the rejection, you may have begged to be chosen by people who did not know how to value you. After the rejection, you learned that being excluded from the wrong room can be protection. Before the delay, you may have measured your life by speed. After the delay, you learned that timing can be a form of mercy. Before the loneliness, you may have thought silence meant abandonment. After the loneliness, you learned that silence can become a sanctuary when your spirit needs to hear clearly. What wounded you did not get the final word. It became part of your decoder. Now, you can detect what is forced. You can detect what is false. You can detect when someone is speaking from love or from control. You can detect when an opportunity is shining on the outside but empty on the inside. You can detect when a relationship is familiar but no longer aligned. You can detect when your old self is trying to pull you back into a place your new self has already outgrown. And that is why some people misunderstand your distance. They think you are being cold. They think you are being difficult. They think you changed for no reason. But they do not understand that your spirit is no longer willing to sit comfortably inside what once slowly drained you. You are not trying to punish anyone. You are not trying to appear mysterious. You are not trying to become unreachable. You are learning the difference between love and access. You can love someone and still not give them the doorway into your inner world. You can forgive someone and still not return to the same pattern. You can wish someone well and still recognize that your assignment cannot grow in the same soil where your spirit kept shrinking. This is where many chosen ones struggle, because you do not want to hurt people. You do not want to be misunderstood. You do not want to look arrogant. You do not want people to think you believe you are better than them. So you keep explaining. You keep shrinking. You keep giving access to people who treat your presence like something common. But what if your access became sacred? What if the reason you feel drained is because you keep placing a rare signal in environments that only know how to turn it into noise? What if your exhaustion is not proof that you are weak, but proof that you have been available to things you were supposed to outgrow? This is why the second revelation matters. Your sensitivity is not weakness, but you must learn how to separate sensitivity from fear. Because not every strong feeling is divine guidance. Not every sudden thought is discernment. Not every anxious reaction is a warning. Sometimes your wounds speak loudly because they remember what happened before. Sometimes your nervous system tries to protect you from pain by making every unknown situation feel dangerous. Sometimes fear dresses itself in spiritual language so it can keep you small and call it wisdom. So right where you are, without moving your body, place one feeling in front of your spirit. Not every feeling, just one. Maybe it is the feeling you have about a person. Maybe it is the feeling you have about a decision. Maybe it is the feeling you have about the next season of your life. Now ask yourself quietly, does this feeling create clarity or does it create chaos? Discernment may be serious, but it usually carries a strange kind of steadiness. Fear rushes, fear panics. Fear says, decide now, run now, hide now, protect yourself now. Discernment may warn you, but it does not have to scream to be true. Then ask yourself, does this feeling lead me toward wise action, or does it trap me inside endless imagination? Because a true warning does not just torment you, it guides you. It brings your attention to something that needs care, correction, distance, patience, or preparation. But fear often creates 1,000 images and no clear step. It keeps you busy in your mind while nothing in your life becomes more aligned. Then ask yourself, has this feeling returned calmly over time, or did it explode suddenly from a wound that was touched? That question matters, because a wound reacts to pressure, but discernment returns with weight. A wound says, this feels like before, so it must be the same. Discernment says, pay attention, something here is not aligned. A wound tries to make you defend yourself before anyone has attacked you. Discernment teaches you to observe before you respond. A wound wants to protect your pain. Discernment wants to protect your purpose. Chosen one, you are not being asked to ignore your sensitivity. You are being asked to purify it, because an unhealed gift can become suspicion, but a healed gift becomes wisdom. An unhealed gift sees danger everywhere, but a healed gift knows when to leave, when to stay, when to speak, when to be silent, when to wait, and when to move. That is why your healing is not separate from your calling. It is part of your calling. The world does not need your wounded reaction. The world needs your refined discernment. The people assigned to your life do not need you to be perfect. They need you to become clear. They need the version of you who can carry truth without cruelty, power without pride, sensitivity without collapse, and love without self-abandonment. And this leads to the revelation at the center of this entire message. No one on this earth has what you have in the exact way you have it. Not because you are the only gifted person. Not because you are better than anyone. Not because heaven loves you and ignores everyone else. But because no one has your exact combination. No one carries your exact scars and your exact compassion. No one carries your exact losses and your exact wisdom. No one carries your exact childhood memories, private prayers, hidden tears, strange confirmations, uncomfortable separations, and quiet moments where you knew something was changing, even though nothing around you had moved yet. No one carries your exact timing. No one carries your exact assignment. No one carries the exact way your spirit turns pain into perception. No one carries the exact way you can be broken and still refuse to become cruel. No one carries the exact way you can be tired and still feel called towards something higher. This is the difference between ego and identity. Ego says, I am rare, so I deserve to be worshipped. Identity says, I am rare, so I must be responsible. Ego wants attention. Identity wants alignment. Ego wants to be seen by everyone. Identity wants to be recognized by what is assigned. Ego performs the gift. Identity protects the gift until the right moment. And this is why comparison has been one of the greatest traps in your life. You look at someone else moving faster and you think you are behind, but they are not carrying your assignment. You look at someone else being celebrated and you think you have been forgotten, but they are not being prepared for your door. You look at someone else with a different path, a different voice, a different ease, and you start questioning why your road has been so heavy. But the weight is not always punishment. Sometimes the weight is evidence of what you are being built to carry. A bridge has to carry more weight than a decoration. A lighthouse has to stand through storms that a candle never faces. A seed that becomes a tree must survive a burial that flowers in a vase will never understand. So do not envy what looks easy when you do not know what it was built for, and do not despise the pressure on your life when the pressure has been forming capacity. You are not behind. You are being built differently. You are not forgotten. You are being formed privately. You are not too late. You are being brought to the right moment with a depth that speed could never create. But now comes the part that many chosen ones do not want to face. It is not enough to know you carry something rare. You must stop mishandling it. You must stop explaining your assignment to people who are committed to misunderstanding it. You must stop giving your inner world to people who only want access, not responsibility. You must stop placing your sacred sensitivity in environments that mock depth and reward performance. You must stop calling every closed door rejection when some closed doors are mercy with a handle. And most of all, you must stop treating your fear of visibility like proof that you are not ready, because there is a kind of fear that comes from weakness. But there is also a kind of fear that comes from understanding the weight of what is coming. You may be afraid to be seen because you know people change when they start watching you. You may be afraid to succeed because you have seen success destroy people who were not grounded. You may be afraid to step forward because stepping forward means you can no longer hide behind potential. You may be afraid to become who you were called to become because that version of you will not be able to keep every old connection comfortable. That fear is not automatically your enemy. Sometimes it is the doorway where your humility is tested. If you had no fear at all, you might become reckless. If you had no awareness of the weight, you might chase attention and lose yourself in applause. If you had no understanding of responsibility, you might mistake visibility for purpose. But you know better. That is why you move carefully. That is why you think deeply. That is why you do not want to become a person who wins outwardly, but loses the sacred thing inside. And I hear this for someone listening right now. I did not make you different to punish you. I made you different to position you. You were not separated because you were unwanted. You were separated because your signal needed protection. You were not hidden because you lacked value. You were hidden because what is valuable is not left uncovered in careless places. You were not delayed because you were denied. You were delayed because your roots needed to become stronger than your reach. Now look at the identities that have been forming in you. You are the seer when you notice patterns no one else wants to name. You are the truth carrier when falsehood makes you uncomfortable, even when pretending would be easier. You are the cycle breaker when you refuse to repeat emotional patterns that were handed to you. You are the light bearer when your presence brings clarity into places that have been heavy for too long. You are the bridge when you can understand different worlds, different people, different wounds, and somehow translate what others cannot say. But these identities are not costumes. They are responsibilities. The seer must learn humility, or vision becomes judgment. The truth carrier must learn compassion, or truth becomes a weapon. The cycle breaker must learn patience, or healing becomes control. The light bearer must learn boundaries, or light becomes exhaustion. The bridge must learn discernment, or everyone will walk across you until nothing is left. This is why your next season cannot be built on raw sensitivity alone. It must be built on protected sensitivity. It must be built on mature discernment. It must be built on a mind that is clear enough to hear, a spirit that is grounded enough to wait, and a heart that is healed enough to carry love without losing itself. Because the rare thing you carry is real. But if you do not protect it, noise will bury it. If you do not mature it, pain will distort it. If you do not honor it, people will treat it like something common. And if you do not awaken it fully, you may spend your life sensing that there is more inside you, but never learning how to live from that deeper place. That is why the next part of this message matters, because now that you understand the spiritual fingerprint, you must learn how to protect the signal. You must learn how to stop confusing noise with guidance. You must learn how to return to clarity when the world makes your mind heavy. You must learn how to carry what is rare without hiding it, and without handing it to the wrong hands. The question is no longer, do I have something different? You already know you do. The question now is, how do I stop losing access to it? How do I protect it when life becomes loud? How do I reawaken the clarity that used to come naturally? How do I carry this without fear, without pride, and without shrinking back into the old version of myself? Because what you carry was never meant to stay buried. It was hidden for formation, but it is being awakened for purpose. And purpose cannot be carried by a noisy mind forever. That is why this matters now. Because you can have a calling and still feel foggy. You can have a rare gift and still feel blocked. You can have deep intuition and still lose your clarity when the world becomes too loud. You can feel that something sacred is inside you and still wake up some days unable to reach it. That does not mean the gift is gone. It means the signal needs protection. Think about how much noise has been trying to enter you every single day, not just through people, but through your attention, through endless scrolling, through old conversations replaying in your mind, through fear about the future, through pressure to prove yourself, through comparison, through the constant pull of a world that wants your eyes, your emotions, your energy, your reaction, your belief, your time. And the more noise enters, the harder it becomes to hear the quiet thing inside you. The rare thing in you does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it comes as a calm knowing. Sometimes it comes as one clear sentence in the middle of confusion. Sometimes it comes as a feeling that says, wait. Sometimes it comes as a feeling that says, move. Sometimes it comes as a feeling that says, this is not for you anymore. But if your inner world is crowded, even a holy whisper can feel far away. This is where many chosen ones become frustrated. They know they are not ordinary, but they feel inconsistent. They know they have discernment, but some days they cannot tell the difference between guidance and fear. They know they were made for more, but their mind feels heavy, their body feels tired, and their spirit feels buried under the weight of ordinary life. And then shame enters. You start thinking, if I were really chosen, I would not feel this confused. If I were really called, I would be stronger than this. If I really carried something rare, I would not be fighting brain fog, distraction, exhaustion, doubt, and fear. But listen carefully. Being chosen does not mean you never become tired. Being chosen does not mean your mind never becomes overloaded. Being chosen does not mean your spirit never needs restoration. Even a lamp needs oil. Even a garden needs water. Even a fire needs protection from the wind. Even the rarest signal can be buried under constant static. So the question is not, why do I sometimes feel blocked? The better question is, what keeps covering the signal? And the answer is often simpler than you think. Too much noise, too much access, too much emotional clutter, too many voices, too many open doors to people, memories, fears, and distractions that were never meant to live inside your inner sanctuary. Your first act of protection is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is not something you have to perform for anyone. It begins inside. Right now, wherever you are, without moving your body, imagine a clear line of light around the deepest part of you. Not around your image, not around your reputation, not around the version of you that tries to impress people, around the quiet place inside you where truth still lives. Now, let this sentence pass through your mind. Not everything deserves access to my signal. Let it settle. Not every opinion deserves entrance. Not every memory deserves authority. Not every fear deserves the microphone. Not every person deserves the doorway. Not every old version of me gets to decide who I am becoming. This is not rejection. This is protection. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. This is not isolation. This is stewardship. Because what you carry is not common, and common treatment will damage it. You cannot keep placing a sacred gift in careless environments and then wonder why you feel drained. You cannot keep giving your private world to people who only know how to consume it. You cannot keep letting every crisis, Every comment, every memory, every demand, and every anxious thought sit at the table of your spirit. Some things need to be loved from a distance. Some thoughts need to be dismissed before they build a house inside you. Some doors need to close without a dramatic announcement. Some versions of you need to be thanked for surviving, then released from leadership. The old version of you knew how to survive, but the next version of you must learn how to govern. That means you do not just feel everything and call it truth. You test what you feel. You do not just react because something touched an old wound. You pause inwardly and ask, is this fear protecting my pain, or is wisdom protecting my purpose? You do not just run back to what is familiar because the new season feels uncertain. You remind yourself that familiar chains can still be chains. You do not just shrink because being seen feels uncomfortable. You remind yourself that visibility without grounding is dangerous, but hiding after formation becomes disobedience to your own becoming. And I know that word may feel heavy, because part of you still wants to stay hidden. Hidden feels safer. Hidden means fewer opinions. Hidden means fewer expectations. Hidden means you can keep saying, one day, maybe, when I am ready, when I am healed enough, when I am stronger, when I understand everything. But chosen one, there comes a moment when hiding is no longer humility. Sometimes it becomes agreement with fear. Sometimes it becomes loyalty to the old wound. Sometimes it becomes the place where your gift stays buried. Not because heaven is hiding it, but because you are afraid of what will happen when it rises. This is why you need clarity. Not hype, not pressure, not panic. Clarity. Clarity tells you what to protect and what to release. Clarity tells you who has access and who does not. Clarity tells you when a door is closed because you are being rejected, and when a door is closed because you are being redirected. Clarity tells you when silence is wisdom and when silence is fear. Clarity tells you when to wait and when waiting has become hiding. And this is where your mind and your spirit must begin working together again. Because some of you have been trying to carry a spiritual assignment with a mind that is exhausted from survival. Your spirit may still know, but your mind is crowded. Your spirit may still sense, but your attention is scattered. Your spirit may still be calling you higher, but your nervous system keeps pulling you back into old patterns. And this is why restoration cannot only be emotional. It must also be mental. It must also be energetic. It must also be practical. There is a simple inner practice I want you to remember. Do not turn it into a performance. Do not make it complicated. Do not force yourself to feel something dramatic. Call it the 7-minute stillness gate. For 7 minutes, in your mind, imagine all the noise of your life standing outside a closed door. The opinions stand outside. The fear stands outside. The old conversations stand outside. The pressure to prove yourself stands outside. The people who misunderstood you stand outside. The version of you that kept begging for approval stands outside. And inside that door, there is only one room, a quiet room, a clear room, a room where your spirit does not have to perform. In that inner room, ask only one question. What is mine to carry right now, and what is not mine? Do not search for a dramatic answer. Let the unnecessary things lose their authority. Let the false responsibilities fall away. Let the pressure to explain yourself become quiet. Let the need to be understood by everyone lose its grip. And if only one clear thought rises, honor it. Maybe the thought is, stop giving access. Maybe the thought is, rest before you decide. Maybe the thought is, this relationship needs distance. Maybe the thought is, you are not behind. Maybe the thought is, begin again. That is enough. Clarity usually begins as one honest sentence. But I want to take this deeper, because there is something many people never connect. Sometimes what we call spiritual blockage is also mental noise. Sometimes what we call lack of motivation is a mind that has been trained into distraction. Sometimes what we call losing our gift is not the gift disappearing, but the brain no longer entering the state where clarity, intuition, creativity, and deep focus can rise naturally. There is a reason you may remember being different when you were younger. Maybe you learned quickly. Maybe your imagination was alive. Maybe you had moments where life felt more magical, more connected, more guided. Maybe your thoughts moved with ease. Maybe your intuition felt natural, before the world became loud, before disappointment hardened you, before stress trained your mind to survive instead of create. And then something changed. The signal became weaker, the mind became noisier, the clarity came in flashes instead of flowing naturally. And for many chosen ones, this loss feels personal. It feels like you failed. It feels like you became less than who you were meant to be. But what if you did not lose the gift? What if the channel was covered? This is why I want to speak carefully about something that connects the mind and the spirit. There is a brainwave state connected with deep clarity, heightened awareness, learning, intuition, and what many people call flow. It is often discussed as gamma, and when you understand this, it gives language to something many chosen ones have felt for years. There are moments when your mind feels lit up, connected, sharp, awake, almost as if ideas and confirmations arrive from a deeper place. And then there are moments when stress, distraction, and survival mode pull you far away from that state. This is not about worshipping science, and it is not about replacing faith, prayer, discipline, healing, or wise action. It is about understanding that your inner signal needs the right environment to rise. A noisy mind struggles to hear subtle guidance. A scattered mind struggles to hold a sacred assignment. A survival mind struggles to create from peace. And this is why some tools can be helpful when they support what your spirit is already trying to do. There is a 7-minute audio called The Genius Song that was created around this idea of helping the brain return toward that gamma state through brainwave entrainment. It is not magic. It is not a replacement for your relationship with God, your healing, your choices, or the responsibility to protect your life. But it is designed as a simple audio tool you listen to through headphones for 7 minutes, allowing the mind to be gently guided back toward a clearer, more awakened state. And the reason I am mentioning it here is because it connects directly to what we have been talking about. If you are a chosen one who has felt the signal inside you but also felt buried under fog, distraction, stress, or heaviness, this may give you a practical doorway to explore. I think about the story of a teacher in Texas who spent years helping others grow while privately feeling like her own mind was running at a fraction of its true capacity. She described it almost like there was a machine inside her that was still working, but not at full power. And after using this 7-minute practice consistently, what changed first was not something loud or dramatic. It was clarity. Ideas came back. Decisions she had postponed became easier to make. She felt like the fog had started to lift. Now hear me clearly. Your path is still your path. No audio can live your purpose for you. No tool can replace obedience, healing, boundaries, wisdom, or patience. But sometimes, a tool arrives at the right time because you are ready to stop fighting the fog and start protecting the signal. And I also know some of you are already thinking, I have tried so many things before. I have tried meditation. I have tried healing sounds. I have tried routines. I have tried to force myself into focus, and nothing lasted. I understand that. This is why the difference matters. The Genius Song is positioned around brainwave entrainment, not simply relaxing background music. The idea is not that you have to spend months trying to force your mind into a state it cannot reach. The idea is that the audio itself is designed to guide the brain toward that state through sound. Traditionally, people may spend large amounts of money on biofeedback sessions or expensive devices to work with brain states. The original price of this audio was $49, which is already far less than those traditional options. But for viewers here, it has been reduced to $39. With it, you also receive the additional bonuses connected to the offer, and it is backed by a money-back guarantee. I am not saying that to pressure you. I am saying it so you can make a calm decision without fear. If your spirit does not feel drawn to it, let it pass. Keep the wisdom, keep the practice, keep protecting your signal. But if something in you feels curious, if something in you recognizes that your clarity has been buried, and you want to explore a simple 7-minute tool that supports your mind while you continue your spiritual walk, I left the link in the description and the pinned comment. Please do not search randomly for it somewhere else. There are many copied versions and fake pages that use similar names but do not provide the original audio, the bonuses, or the guarantee. Use only the link connected to this message if you choose to explore it. And after you explore it, or even if you do not, come back to the deeper truth. The tool is not the source of your gift. The gift was already placed inside you. The tool may help clear the noise, but the signal belongs to your assignment. The audio may support the mind, but the calling still requires your surrender. The practice may help you focus, but your life still has to become a protected place where clarity can remain. So now ask yourself, what would change if I stopped treating my gift like something ordinary? What would change if I stopped handing my energy to every person who demands it? What would change if I stopped letting the loudest fear become the leader of my decisions? What would change if I stopped waiting for everyone to understand me before I obeyed what I already know? What would change if I stopped apologizing for having depth? Chosen one, this is the integration. Do not tell everyone what is being awakened in you. Not every seed needs an audience. Not every promise needs public explanation. Not every shift needs a post. Not every calling needs immediate announcement. Some things grow stronger in sacred privacy. Move quietly when you need to move quietly. Build where no one is clapping. Heal where no one is watching. Learn the difference between secrecy and protection. Secrecy hides because it is ashamed. Protection covers because it understands value. Let your fruit speak when the season is right. Let your peace speak. Let your boundaries speak. Let your consistency speak. Let your clarity speak. Let the version of you that no longer begs for the wrong rooms speak louder than any explanation ever could. You do not need to convince people that you are different. Your life will reveal it. You do not need to announce that you are chosen. Your endurance will reveal it. Your discernment will reveal it. Your compassion after pain will reveal it. Your refusal to become cruel will reveal it. Your ability to rise without becoming arrogant will reveal it. And when the time comes for you to be seen, you will not step forward as someone desperate for attention. You will step forward as someone who has been formed in silence. Not louder, clearer, not faster, deeper, not desperate, aligned, not performing, carrying, not proving, becoming. Now, wherever you are, let your inner attention return to that quiet room again. See the door. See the noise outside it. See the old labels outside it. Too sensitive, too quiet, too intense, too different, too hard to understand. Now imagine those labels losing their power one by one. They fall to the ground like old paper that no longer carries authority. And in the center of that quiet room, imagine a light beginning to rise. Not a loud light. Not a light trying to impress anyone. A steady light. A protected light. A light that has survived the storms and still refuses to go out. That light is not your ego. That light is not your performance. That light is not your need to be admired. That light is the part of you that still knows. The part of you that knew there was more. The part of you that felt the signal before you had words for it. The part of you that kept breathing through seasons when no one knew how much it cost you to stay alive inside. Now let this be spoken over you. May the rare thing inside you be protected from noise. May your discernment become clean and steady. May your mind become clear enough to recognize the difference between fear and wisdom. May your heart become healed enough to love without abandoning itself. May your spirit become strong enough to walk away from what drains your assignment. May your sensitivity become sacred again. May your hidden years no longer feel wasted. May every season that looked like delay reveal the roots it was growing beneath the surface. May every rejection that broke your heart become a doorway into deeper alignment. May every lonely night become proof that you were never truly abandoned, only being taught how to hear without the crowd. And may the signal inside you rise again, not so you can feel superior, not so you can be worshipped, not so you can prove your worth to people who were never assigned to validate you, but so you can become faithful with what was placed in you. Carry it with humility, protect it with wisdom, release it when the time is right. And do not let the world convince you that what you carry is too much, just because it never learned how to hold it. You are allowed to be different without being proud. You are allowed to be sensitive without being weak. You are allowed to be hidden without being forgotten. You are allowed to be visible without losing yourself. You are allowed to become who you were always being formed to be. And if this message reached the part of you that has been trying to understand your own life, write this in the comments. I will protect the signal, not as a performance, as a declaration, as a reminder to your own spirit that you are done treating what is sacred like it is common. And if you feel led to explore the 7-minute audio I mentioned, the link is in the description and the pinned comment. Let it be a tool, not an idol. Let it support your clarity, not replace your responsibility. Let it serve the awakening that has already begun inside you. Chosen one. Out of 8.2 billion people, no one carries your exact assignment. No one carries your exact path. No one carries your exact scars. No one carries your exact wisdom. No one carries your exact signal. And now that you know this, do not go back to living like what you carry is ordinary. You were hidden for formation. You are being awakened for purpose. And the rare thing inside you is not here to stay buried anymore.